Welcome to Journeys Beyond with Shamari, a podcast where we explore dreams, energy, and the unseen worlds that shape our lives. I'm Shamari, and I'm so glad that you're here. If you've ever walked away from a conversation and thought, why did that get so messy so fast? This episode is for you, because drama isn't depth, it's just overload. And emotional accuracy, real emotional precision, is becoming one of the most important forms of intelligence we can develop right now. So hello everyone, and welcome back. This is the first episode of Season 3 of Journeys and Beyond. Today we're talking about emotional accuracy, what it actually is, why it matters, and how it links to real spiritual development. Because there's a way of being spiritual that is actually just avoidance in fancy language. And there's a way of being spiritually developed that's very simple, very grounded, and very human. It's the ability to stay true without distortion, to feel without collapsing, to communicate without performing. That's the lane we're in today. So let's start with a clean statement. For generations, emotional intensity was mistaken for emotional depth. But drama isn't intelligence. Accuracy is. Drama is usually the nervous system trying to protect itself. It's energy without clarity. Emotional accuracy is different. It's being able to sense what's actually happening underneath the surface reaction. For example, sometimes what looks like anger is hurt. Sometimes what looks like certainty is fear. Sometimes what looks like I don't care is disappointment and withdrawal. Accuracy is not about being nice, it is about being true. We're living in a time where people are more emotionally stimulated than ever, but not necessarily more emotionally skilled. And you can feel it in relationships. Tiny moments escalate, people collapse into story, conversations become court cases. Emotional accuracy helps you to sense before you speak, respond instead of react, see the pattern instead of the story, stay coherent when others collapse, navigate relationships with clarity. And honestly, this is the new kind of intelligence that keeps families together, keeps friendships clean, keeps teams functional, keeps you from abandoning yourself. Now I want to define something clearly because it makes this whole episode land. Personal development is often about improving yourself, better habits, better mindset, better communication, better outcomes, more confidence, more skill. It's valuable. It helps life work. Spiritual development is different. Spiritual development is the maturation of awareness, integrity, coherence, compassion, steadiness under pressure. It's not about looking evolved. It's about becoming more real. So here's the bridge. Personal development can make you more effective. Spiritual development makes you more accurate. And emotional accuracy is one of the quickest ways to tell if someone is actually developing spiritually or just collecting concepts. And of course there is spiritual bypassing, the polite way to avoid reality. Spiritual bypassing isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it's soft and socially acceptable. It can sound like, everything happens for a reason. Just choose love. I'm not going into negativity. It's their karma. And sometimes those phrases are true in a bigger frame. But when they're used to avoid truth, avoid feeling, avoid boundaries, or avoid responsibility, they become a bypass. Here's the simplest definition. Bypass is when spirituality is used to avoid being human. Emotional accuracy brings you back to what's real without turning it into chaos. There's one form of bypass I want to name carefully because it causes real harm. It's when someone hurts someone and then uses spirituality as an explanation to dodge responsibility. It can sound like it's your karma, it's your past life, it's your trauma being triggered. Your soul chose this. And look, meaning can be helpful later, but meaning is not a replacement for repair. If I harmed you, I don't get to spiritualize my way out of accountability. Even if someone can explain a pattern spiritually, that never prohibits compassion and support. Spiritual maturity sounds like, I'm sorry, I can see how that impacted you. I take responsibility for my part. What do you need right now? How can we repair this? And here's the clean line that protects your nervous system from nonsense. Spiritual language is not a substitute for accountability. Most people express emotion theatrically because they don't know how to express it accurately. Precision looks like, I'm hurt because that felt dismissive, instead of, you never listened to me. Or, I need a pause, instead of, you're overwhelming me. This behavior closes my field instead of, you're toxic. Precision is powerful because it tells the truth without distortion, and it reduces unnecessary harm because you can stop throwing emotional grenades when what you actually need is clarity and care. This isn't just a mindset. Accuracy develops when you learn to listen inward, notice micro shifts in your body, track your field rather than your story, stay grounded while feeling, allow emotion to move without collapse, and then something changes. You don't just have emotions, you begin to read them. You can tell what's current, what's historical, what's projection, what's a boundary signal, what's a repair signal, what's fear dressed up as certainty. This is emotional intelligence in its grown-up form. So I wanted to give you some simple internal practice using the Pixie Universe team. And for those of you who haven't met the team before, there are 4 lenses. Pixie notices the truth signal. Something feels off. Oliver clarifies the data. What's true? What's story? Asher anchors it in the body. What does my nervous system need right now? And Nope draws the clean limit. What's my boundary or next step? And you can do that in under a minute, in real time and in conversation. So if you're able to do this with me now, think of a moment recently when you felt activated, even mildly. And now ask, what was the surface emotion? Angry, anxious, overwhelmed, shut down? What was the underneath of that? Often it is one of these: hurt, fear, shame, grief, disappointment, powerlessness, and unmet need. Now turn it into one precise sentence, and you can fill in the spaces. I feel, because, and what I need is. Keep it clean, not a speech, just a true sentence. That's emotional accuracy, and that one sentence can change your entire relational life. Let me leave you with this. Emotional accuracy is not dramatic, it's not loud, it's not performative, it's quiet intelligence, it's spiritual maturity, it's you becoming coherent. And in a world that's escalating quickly, coherence is superpower. You've been listening to Journeys Beyond with Shamari. Thank you for sharing this time with me. New episodes are released every Friday. So until next time, keep your energy soft and your journey open.